So, Sarah, what was the first rule of Fight Club again?
Don't talk about Fight Club.
Well, and here we are, breaking the first rule of Fight Club. But this is not the movie. This is reality. And as we started our own Fight Club, it plays by its own rules. So the first rule of our Fight Club is, tell everybody about Fight Club.
But let's back up a bit. Before we tell you all about why we started a Fight Club, how did two women from completely different continents end up starting a Fight Club here in Germany? Well, I first met Dani in the Middle East. It was in the city of Amman, Jordan, where I was teaching women kickboxing, and Dani was filming a documentary about Jordanian women. She walked into my kickboxing class one day, and it was friendship at first sight. We connected over our shared love for kickboxing and martial arts, and our passion for women's rights and feminism. Our friendship grew. What we didn't expect was that one day, 1 year later, the two of us would be living in the same tiny town here in Germany. The second time that we met was actually in that town, and our friendship grew even more. 3 years ago, I received this text message from Dani. Hey, girl. Listen, I have an idea, or let's say a matter of heart. I think it's about time to encourage more women to learn self-defense. It's crazy times. I know the media is exaggerating a lot, but this weird feeling of times getting more and more dangerous for girls worries me. Do you think it would be a good idea to do a German city tour where girls can join a one-day or couple-hour workshop to get interested in self-defense? Needless to say, I thought it was a great idea.
And here we are. We've come a long way since then, but sadly, the context hasn't changed that much. We still feel that the world we're living in today is not a safe place for girls or women. We simply can't accept the fact that we have to be nervous all the time, like when we walk the streets at night, when we travel alone, or when we just put on our new favorite summer dress and at the same time we have to worry that we get catcalled or whistled at or unwantingly talked to. So for the longest time, both of us thought we just have to tolerate these things that happen to us on a daily basis. But then something within us changed. We've overcome barriers and we committed to speaking up, not only for ourselves but also for others. So we stand here today sharing our vision of a safer future and how we can achieve it with all of you.
Because we do believe that we can achieve it. What we noticed, a way that we found to gain control over those situations that we thought we had to tolerate, was our shared passion, martial arts. Learning to fight back gave us 3 things that we did not see in ourselves before: strength, confidence, and a feeling of safety. We noticed a shift in the way we walk, the way we talk, and the way we feel overall. A sense of self-esteem and self-respect, enough to say no when something is making us uncomfortable, and to walk the streets with our heads held high. And it's because we found this in martial arts that we said, hey, let's start a fight club and encourage other women to join us, see how they go on their journeys, and maybe we'll see a shift in the entire society and a transformation.
So what is this Fight Club? It is not a physical place per se, and it also is not a basement where we go and smash in each other's heads, just in case you're still thinking of the movie reference. It is actually exactly the opposite. So Fight Club is a safe space where women come together and they test their strength and train their minds. Fight Club can be set up wherever needed, in big cities, in small towns, in public parks, or just regular gyms. So Fight Club is where women learn the most effective basics of self-defense and how to fight back, like kickboxing, or self-defense techniques, or cage fights where you have to escape by screaming out loud for help, or scenario trainings where everything is just put to the test. But don't get us wrong, we're not looking for a fight. The paradox within Fight Club is we train to avoid fights in any case. So by training and practicing these skills, we build up like an armor of confidence around ourselves that transforms the image of an easy target into someone you just don't want to mess with.
So let's try that out right here with the audience. So you've been sitting here for a while. You can do this at home too. Maybe you're slumped over your chair. Maybe you're hanging over the chair in front of you. Stay like that. And look at the person next to you. Not very impressive. You could probably take them on in a fight. But let's do it a little differently now. Sit up tall, maybe even stand up if you're feeling it. Shoulders back, chest out proud, chin up, and raise both your fists. Now look at the person next to you. Yeah, I'm not picking a fight with her. All right, you can put your hands down. But that's what happens. There comes a moment when a switch goes off in your head, when this light goes on, and it's a super bright light, and we see it on the faces of the women that we train. When they discover for the first time their strength as they're throwing a punch or they're kicking a target, we see that light go on, and that light and that expression on their faces is confidence manifesting right in front of us. And that's what Fight Club is about. Fight Club is a place for women to gather together, unleash their inner warriors, and learn to fight back.
All right. That sounds great and nice.
Yeah.
But couldn't one say that it is a bit sexist? I mean, why would you exclude men from this club?
Well, Dani, as you know, we get that a lot.
We do.
We also get a lot of support, but we have been called sexist and we've been called discriminatory for only offering this to women. But let us try to explain to you why it can feel a little bit intimidating as a woman to step into a super macho martial arts gym. You don't see a single other woman in sight. You don't know anybody there. The walls are oozing with testosterone. You're not even quite sure how to make a proper fist. And basically, you don't have any confidence that you even belong there. And it really sucks because you start to think, they're going to think that I'm not good at this because I'm a girl. When in reality, you're just not good at it because you're a beginner, which is totally okay.
And also, there is another layer that people do not see, a layer that applies to every third woman in Germany. So according to the Federal Ministry of Family Affairs, 1 in 3 women in Germany have experienced gender-based violence. So there is this pure fear of getting hurt by someone like much bigger and stronger than you, because it may have happened before.
And Fight Club can be a starting point for exactly those women. It can give them an opportunity to try trainings that they otherwise never would have. It can open doors for conversations to happen that maybe otherwise never would have. We don't know all the stories of the women that we train, but that does not mean that their stories don't exist. And that's why we have the Fight Club.
Because if we give women a space where they can develop their powers and their confidence, they will be able to take on anything the streets throw at them. And what we witness from the women that we train and that we meet, that is a proof that this actually works. It's this feeling they have after training like this. It's power, it's strength, and it's absolute confidence. So for example, we had 2 teenagers once joining Fight Club for a weekend, and on the morning of the second day, they came back to us and approached us and told us how proud they were of like going out the night before to a club. They were like shoulders back, chin up high, poker face, and you just bet that nobody wanted to pick a fight with those 2.
Or the woman who finally stood up to a man who had been following her home from work. She turned around and finally had the courage to shout at him. So instead of her crossing the street to get away from him, it was he who crossed the street to get away from her.
And those stories do not have to remain anecdotes. They can become every woman's reality. We are convinced that there can be a world in which women do not have to be afraid to speak up. A world where eventually nobody dares to mess with us because we fight back.
And in that world, we'll have a different narrative for little girls. So instead of the old saying that we're made of sugar, spice, and everything nice, we'll tell those girls that they're made of courage and sass and everything badass.
So join our fight, and we will turn the image of women as a weaker sex on its head. And in doing so, we can make the world safer for them.
Be it your daughters, your sisters, your mothers, or your friends. Encourage the women around you to fight back.
On that note, Sarah, what was the first rule of Fight Club again?
Tell everybody about Fight Club. Thank you for listening.
Thank you.